The first time I ever heard of you was Eniluwa said he was going to come and shoot a video with you when he started his career many years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know you, and I'm like, he's a big star, and I'm like, hey, who is? And I didn't know. This was during COVID. And that was the first time. So I began to research you. I'm like, who is this person that I don't know that is so big? And then I found that interview.
Right.
And so I said, oh, I want to talk to her.
Hi.
So it wasn't even all of these other things that make me your fan, but it was just the way you knew and told your story. So essentially, you know, because you have multi-talent, and I'm going to talk about that, but at the first, the industry didn't open up for you immediately when you came.
Yeah, no, it didn't.
What was that? What? Tell us about that. What was the first thing you tried to do that didn't work out?
Let me even tell you the exciting thing. Like, my first time in Lagos was when I came to Lagos on my NYSC. That was in 2010. And when I was coming to Lagos in 2010, I legit was that girl who was, you know, moving up to LA or going to live in Paris, and I came with bags of shoes and fine clothes, and I'm like,
I'm gonna show them.
They're gonna die in Lagos. One cool lady. I didn't know Queen's me that way. Hello, my brother. It's not easy. Yeah. So, you know, I came into Lagos with all of that energy, and I realized that even though Lagos was way smaller than the city that I grew up in, which is Ibadan, it was very difficult to get almost anything done. You know, speak of getting my content on TV, speak of having, you know, the right people to collaborate with, speak of having, you know, the right crew to even work with. It was really, really difficult. Yeah. So I started, you know, producing my own content. At the time, I called it Style Connect, where I would call, you know, makeup artists, hairstylists, and come and give us a few tips. So like a fashion tip show, pretty much. But I do it. It didn't do. I struggled. I hustled. I'm like, okay, let us rewind back to the start and give this another try. So at the time also, I was hosting Red Carpet, and that was where I met Bingadi Inka, and then introduced me to the boss of Goldmine TV. And that was my first entrance into the media space, and the hustle continued. But it was definitely not how I envisaged it was going to be. I was honestly thinking, because I mean, I like to pose myself as this tall, you know, fine girl who has, you know, a great sense of style. Which you do. I mean, so I just thought that that's supposed to be a password. But when I reached there, I see a lot of sense of time, a lot of tallness, you know, money, wow. So I had to queue. I call it queuing. Not necessarily because there's a visible line, but because there are different stages that you have to literally conquer before you eventually get there. So, pretty much. 2017 was a very challenging year for me. It was a year that I started doubting myself. Like, I was asking myself, did it really make sense for you to leave a job that was paying you salary, and then you had a good show going on for you, and then I'm now sitting in my house looking skeleton. I didn't know what to do next. And I was contemplating, and I started another show by myself again. Mind you, before I joined Goodman, I produced the show I told you, and I met with this very big TV channel, and they told me, oh, so this is the kind of content we're looking for. If you can film this, you can film that, it's good for us. And I went to meet my parents, and my dad is the proposer kind of person. He would tell you, what do you want to do? How will he excel? How much to do it? I've done the proposal. It was neat. Filmed it, took it to the TV station. The man said, it did not meet our requirements. After I spent millions, who writes the requirements? I'll pay that person to write the requirements. So I drove from there all the way to Ibadan. I went to cry to my parents that I did not collect our program. So they made you go and produce this show, almost with the assurance that this show was going to be on. You went to spend millions on the show. Yes. Then you brought it and they say, the woman, she didn't even look my eyes. That is what paid me, because they say, talk is there, I was not a she didn't even look my eyes. So it means she don't have to talk with me. Wow. I said, I couldn't do such a thing to me. So this is me driving from VI to my house in Ibadan. Luckily, I met my mother and my father in the compound. As I parked the vehicle, you know that I can be dramatic, I first fall down. I say, it's over. So, you know, after going through all of that and kind of conquering that, to be on TV and have a show, and then leaving that job to say, there's no fulfillment in this anymore. It now felt like, is it that I forgot that I've suffered before? What's the process? And I started my own show as well. Style It Yourself with Kiekie. So I started on that DIY show, and that was picking up really nice. You mentioned about okay, being patient, you know, and etc. and the temptations that young women may face. Were you propositioned at any time? So the thing is, there's this Yoruba thing that says, if you don't walk anyhow, you won't see anyhow. So, so there, you won't find me in some places. Right. So for you to find me there, it will be difficult. But I once had a boss that I complained that this salary that you do pay me is not sufficient. Can you pay me more? And this man told me that, why are you stressing yourself? You're a fine girl now. You're on TV. Big men will see you. They give you money. Right. That's how I sacked myself on that day.
I love it. You sacked yourself.
I sacked myself on that day. I'm like, nah. Yeah. If that's the orientation you have, it means you have no value for what I'm doing. Yeah. And if you have no value for what I'm doing, then it means that you have no value for the establishment itself. So that's not a place for me. Yeah. So definitely there was, but I think that's like the only one. I won't be around.
What do you say to people who will say that, but it's easy for you to say this because, you came from a privileged background, everything was okay, you can be patient, but, when you are dealing with poverty and you don't know where the next meal is going to come from, that it's difficult for people to make the same choices you've made?
Maybe people like that will need to understand that there were times, because I used to live with a friend at the time who was also doubling as, it was like a previous colleague at the time. There were times where in my account balance, we have like 200. We'll now go and buy Indomie. From
200 naira. 200
naira. We'll buy Indomie and egg. We'll eat it. We'll look at ourselves. We'll now be deliberating. So now call mommy now. Maybe you should call daddy. So I've come from a very comfortable background, but that doesn't change the fact that I was able to identify that I am supposed to be who I am. Right. I have a vision. I have a path. I have a destiny. That needs to be fulfilled. Right. Yeah. And everything that eventually happened to me, if I did not take that course, if I didn't decide to take that journey in 2017 into 2018, I probably would still be calling my daddy right now that I want to buy minerals or I want to travel. And there's even a limit to it. Even when you're calling your parents and they're sponsoring your life, there's still a limit to the kind of things that they will do for you. Because there's some things I use money to buy right now. My father dare not know the price of it.
Yes, there'll be a problem. You could not have asked him.
A big problem. If you want to ask him, you use another thing to ask him. So please, I need a new laptop too. Now use that money to buy. You cannot actually tell my father he wants to buy something. I don't want to buy sheep. What are you buying? So people will tend to say that a lot. Which is where, in my journey so far, I think in this particular moment might actually be the first time ever that I'm outrightly saying that, I'm from a comfortable home. Right. Only people from Ibadan know that because my parents are into petroleum. Only a few people from Ibadan actually know me. And a few times I see a few comments in a few blogs, oh, she's a rich kid, I used to go and DM them. Excuse me, please, I beg it. Because Nigeria, they know how to eat you. They just sit down. No wonder. Yes. No wonder she's like that. Is it my father that is helping me to present? Is it my father that's helping me to write scripts? Yes. Is it my father that's helping me to do content? But we just have but I genuinely understand that. Yeah. I genuinely, because and that's why I believe that as a people, we really need to do better for the country and the nation itself. Right. Thanks.
Thank you for joining our YouTube channel. I hope you loved that video and you connected with it. Don't forget, please subscribe, please like, please share with your friends and family. Please comment. We love to see your comments, and to see the full versions, join our community right now or past episodes on watch.withchude.com. Let's be human together.